Give them bread and circuses, and they'll never revolt. You've heard that before, right? Most people have heard of that before. That's from a Roman poet. Don't worry about who it is. It's not important for our conversation here. But what is important is, what did he mean by that? We'll talk about the Hunter Biden stuff in a minute. Where's that going? Well, here's where it's going. The people, if the people are upset, or if the people are living under a corrupt system, and they know it's a corrupt system, you must placate them. You don't have to give them justice. You don't have to clean up the system. You don't have to change your ways. You don't have to do any of those things if you're in power. Find something to distract them. Find something to placate them, to calm them down. If they're angry, hungry masses are in front of you and they say, we're starving, just show up with a wagon and toss out some loaves of bread. And they'll go from being angry to thanking you. Wow, you were so generous. Thanks for the free bread. Stalin. You obviously know who Joseph Stalin is. Totalitarian dictator, murdered almost as many people as Mao did, horrific human being. You know that. And Stalin controlled everything, didn't he? Stalin controlled the news. Stalin controlled the arts. Stalin controlled the economy. Every single thing was managed. Nobody was allowed to step out of line. But did you know there was an opposition party? An opposition party to Stalin? Did you know that he allowed it? He encouraged it? And in fact, he organized it? Now, why would he do that? Why would this human being who organized and controlled everything censored, everything is run through Stalin, why would he allow an opposition party? They even would make some public statements that disagreed with Stalin. Stalin would kill his own family members for disagreeing with him, and he allowed an opposition party to do that? Why would he do that? Well, because the people needed to be placated. Every tyrant knows instinctively that he can abuse the people, he can abuse the people around him, he can do whatever he wants to a point. But you can't get the people too mad. Just make sure they don't ever dial it up to 11. Turn it down a little bit. You have to placate them with something. No, it's not one-party rule here in the Soviet Union. What? Look, the opposition party's right there. You have options for sure. What's going on with Hunter Biden? With the Hunter Biden sweetheart deal? Well, what's going on is the system has witnessed your anger. They're very aware of how angry you are, that there is no justice system for the elites, certainly the elite Democrats. They all get off scot-free. If you're Donald Trump, if you're a Republican, they're going to lock you in a cage forever. If you're a Democrat, do whatever you want. They know you're mad. They've seen you be mad. They closely monitor social media. They're listening to all of our phone calls, after all. They know you're angry. They understand that. And they know you're getting a little too angry. Man, the people are getting spicy. How do we dial that down a bit? Well, how you dial it down a bit is you bust Hunter Biden. You say, yeah, Hunter Biden's a criminal. Man, I can't believe this tax stuff. Whoa! And that gun charge? Ugh. You know what? He's going to have to enter a plea deal. But while we weren't looking, everything kind of got swept up inside of that plea deal, and they washed it all away. You see, Hunter Biden is not just a tax evader. Hunter Biden is a felon, and so is his father. These are human beings who've used their position of power to take bribes from foreign entities to enrich themselves and sell out the United States of America. By all rights, Hunter Biden should never see the outside of a prison cell again. And if you or I did what Hunter Biden did, we would not. We'd be in Fort Leavenworth for the rest of our lives. But they know they can't do that. And they also can't just let him off scot-free. Hey, he's innocent, because no one would believe that. So what do? They pat you on the head and they say, look, we got him, guys. We got him. Do you remember that child custody case? He was going through in Arkansas, the stripper he knocked up, and then, of course, he ran out on her, abandoned his child. He's a real quality human being. And then he was going through a civil case there. And this civil case was supposed to be the case where all his lies were exposed, because we were going to get to dig into all of his finances. But while you were sleeping, all that went away too. Vanished, gone. Joe Biden was asked about it and gave the same canned, meaningless answer he always has.
I'm very proud of my son.
Very proud. He's very proud of his son. Very proud of. What does that mean? Well, Joe Biden understands exactly how this game works. Remember when he was asked about it time and time again on the campaign trail? And what did he say? Time and time again. No one said he did anything wrong. Who said he did anything wrong? What does that mean? I mean, it's nothing. Everyone said he did something wrong. What are you talking about? But Joe understands that we live in a late-stage republic, a completely corrupt system, and he'll be allowed to give these canned answers, and he'll have the entire U.S. media out there running cover for him like they have been doing.
And it shows that no one is above the law, which is important, not even the president's son.
The fact that son of the president was investigated by the government and charged is actually evidence that no one is above the law in America. That's a good thing.
Obviously, you're already hearing a lot of shouting, oh, sweetheart deal, oh, this, oh, that.
This is not a sweetheart deal. It's a deal. I think it's a good deal for Hunter Biden in that he will stay out of prison and end up with only 2 misdemeanors on his record. But it's certainly not a sweetheart deal out of line with what happens in the rest of the country.
They focus on this and say, oh, my God, 2-tier standard of justice. He got a sweetheart deal. And you're like, guys, I mean, you just sound like morons.
And yet, if this wasn't Hunter Biden, it is likely he wouldn't have been prosecuted at all.
It indicates that the prosecutor's gone out of his way to charge everything that could have been charged.
He went out of his way to charge everything that could have been charged. Is that a fact? Well, that's funny because I remember, maybe you remember this too, I remember this laptop. I remember Hunter Biden had a laptop. Do you remember this? Hunter Biden had a laptop. And because he's a degenerate and has serious mental problems, he not only commits an endless amount of crimes, he records all of them. Hunter Biden apparently has never committed a crime that he doesn't want to record on his phone or wherever he records it. And not only does he record all of his crimes, he uploads all of them onto his laptop. That alone is wild. But then, this is the best part, Hunter Biden, with the criminal laptop, the laptop with evidence of all of his crimes, he then takes it down to a computer repair shop and says, hey, update the hard drive or something or whatever he told them, and just kind of left it there, just forgot about it. And computer repair shops all have this disclaimer that they get to take possession of your laptop if you leave it there for so long, they never hear from you. And he just left it there, and soon this computer guy gets a hold of all these crimes of Hunter Biden, and he understandably calls the FBI and says, the son of the vice president, then Vice President Joe Biden, is a felon, and I have all the evidence here. And the FBI says, oh my goodness, that's terrible. Hang on, let's go check that out. 2019, the FBI went down and took possession of Hunter Biden's laptop containing evidence of his crimes and his father's crimes. Now, whatever did happen to that laptop? Whatever did happen to it? Are they still looking into it? Well, here's Hunter Biden's lawyer.
Do you have any idea if Hunter Biden's laptop had anything to do with this investigation? Was it used?
I don't. No, I don't. I mean,
were you ever asked about it?
I can't recall being asked about it, to be honest with you. But there's nothing about the situation that's been filed that has a thing to do with the laptop.
Why not?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the prosecutors.
They didn't even ask about it. Laptop? What? Ha! Never heard of her. All that may have made you uncomfortable, but I am right.
Are you tired of watching your beloved nation fall prey to the insidious grip of communism? The Anti-Communist Manifesto by Jesse Kelly is the ultimate guide to fighting back against this destructive force. Discover the shocking truth about communism infiltrating our education system, corporations, and even environmental movements. Unmask the true agenda behind groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and learn how to protect the United States from the most malicious enemy. With extensive documentation of past atrocities, you'll see the undeniable danger posed by this ideology. Arm yourself with knowledge and join the fight to preserve the American way of life. The Anti-Communist Manifesto, a new must-read book from Jesse Kelly. Get your copy today at jessekellybook.com or wherever books are sold.